Hey fam, this is Liz, the Vespa mom, and I had a very cool experience earlier this week. For the first time ever, I took a Vespa ride with a partner. So I've done a couple of group rides in the past. I really enjoy riding solo. That's actually one of the things I really love about Vespa riding is riding solo. But for a while, I've kind of just desired to have a ride with just one other person, just kind of having a partner. So back in April, I connected with Anna. Anna's my new riding buddy, and we talked about getting together to do a ride. And we finally had the opportunity to do that on Monday. It was a great experience, and so I just want to share what it was like riding with a partner for the first time, some of the challenges of that. I know several of you ride with partners all the time. If you do, please comment below on the kinds of things that work well for you when you're riding with somebody else. If you've never ridden with a partner before, I highly recommend seeking it out. It was a lot of fun. So I just want to share some footage from the ride, talk a little bit about what I enjoyed about it. I hope you enjoy as well. Thanks.
All right, so first things first, I had forgotten to gas up my Vespa, so rookie mistake right out the gate. So we ended up having to stop pretty early to get some gas. Anna was a fantastic sport. She had to follow me. I didn't exactly know what I was doing as far as leading, but she and her husband ride together, so she's used to riding with somebody else, and she was a great follower. She kind of kept her distance, but she never lost me. I would check on her and make sure she was in the rearview mirror pretty regularly. The one thing that, of course, is different when you ride with a partner is that it just requires more planning. So we obviously had to coordinate schedules, which took a while to finally nail something down. I also wanted to make sure that I had the route down really solid. And I still am having some issues with a great navigation app on my phone. I haven't quite figured out the best way to do that. But we rode through Middletown. That was kind of the most city we dealt with the whole time. And then it was basically country roads. So the place we headed to was called Charleston Falls Nature Preserve. And that was up near the Dayton Airport, which is north of Dayton, Ohio. And I had read that there was a waterfall up there. So I was kind of dying to see a waterfall. I went on a trip recently and we had planned to see a waterfall and we didn't. So that was kind of on my summer list to check out a waterfall. So I planned out a route that would not take us straight through Dayton because I just didn't think that would be the most enjoyable route. So we did go through Middletown, which isn't very big. And then it was, generally speaking, kind of country roads the whole way. But the planning, I couldn't just go when I want and kind of fly by the seat of my pants like I normally do. But that wasn't that big a deal. The little bit of planning that we did was totally worth it to have somebody come along. Another thing that was just different for me is that it just gives you another dimension of something that you have to give your attention to. So I did not want to I didn't want to stop checking to make sure she was back there and that she was following me okay. Not that she had any trouble at all, but I was just very aware that I had somebody following me. So that's kind of another potential distraction when you're riding. One of the reasons why I didn't record any of my dialogue during the ride is I just didn't want to add yet another thing to pay attention to. So I was trying to navigate. I was trying to make sure that Anna was staying behind me. And I am still kind of dealing with my camera, so I sort of took out the audio part so I wouldn't be further distracted. And I'm glad I did that because it did feel like an extra thing, and obviously you don't want to be too distracted when you ride. So we went through some small towns, which were very sweet areas. It was a beautiful morning. It got pretty hot in the afternoon, but it was a really nice morning for a ride. And Anna and I, she has a comm system in her helmet. I do not. So we sort of had a system of how we would inform one another if we needed to make a stop or anything like that. So even though I had a partner, there was still kind of that element of solitude during the actual riding itself, which is one thing I really love about riding. I enjoy being with people, but there's something about that solitude that I think is just really valuable. So here we are getting a little bit closer to Charleston Falls, and it was really a very pretty ride. We saw country roads, we saw farmland, lots of woods, all kinds of things like that. So it was really beautiful. I'm glad we had the chance to do that. Charleston Falls ended up just being gorgeous. It was kind of a little hidden gem. It was not in an area, like it was near an airport. It was really pretty industrial where we were, but there was a nice walk, pretty short walk to get from the parking lot to where the waterfall was. And then when we made it to the waterfall, it was actually very pretty. We sat there and chatted and got to know each other during this period of time. Found out that we have a lot in common. We actually even know some of the same people. We both homeschooled our kids. So the homeschool circles in our community are pretty small. So it didn't take us long to figure out that we knew some of the same people. And so that was fun. We talked about our kids and our lives and work and all kinds of things. So it was neat to meet a new friend, find out you had a lot in common, even more so than riding Vespas. So there aren't too many people in the Vespa community. So to find someone who also likes to ride Vespas, who has a lot of similar life experience, is pretty cool. So after we went to Charleston Falls, we went to Buc-ee's. This is the first Buc-ee's in Ohio, which, as many of you know, Buc-ee's is a huge deal. So we checked out this new Buc-ee's. She had been there before. She actually lived in Texas, which is where Buc-ee's started, so she was a big fan. Buc-ee's has really good food. It's kind of chaotic. There are always a lot of people at the Buc-ee's, but they do have really good food. So what they don't have is seating, and it was a really hot afternoon. So what we ended up doing is we went inside and we each picked out what we wanted to eat, and we sat on the one shady side of the building on the ground up against the building and enjoyed our lunch and chatted some more. The food was good, and it was very fun to be able to sit and do that. So totally a worthy trip to kind of head out to the Buc-ee's and also see that waterfall. This trip was about 3 hours of riding time. That doesn't include the stops we made. So it was pretty significant. Usually we go about 40 minutes between breaks, and I stopped for gas in the beginning, and then she stopped for gas in the end. As we were heading home, we went through Xenia, which was to the west of Dayton, and then kind of looped around and went through country roads to get out of Xenia. On the way back, there came a point where she continued to go straight and I turned to head home, so we split up there in the end. I would definitely ride with her again. We had a good time. I think there are more adventures to be had between us, and she was just a rock star. She was very patient with me, being a newbie. She put a lot of trust in me, somebody that she had just met, to be able to lead her. And so, yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm considering whether I should get a comm system for my helmet for situations like this. I would love your comments below on whether you have found a comm system to be helpful, if you think it's worth it for me to do that. I really do most of my rides solo, but I can see the value of being able to have that if I am riding with somebody else. So again, good time, very thankful to be able to have somebody to ride with now. Hoping we can coordinate our schedule somewhat regularly so that we can have some more adventures together. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hearing my ramblings about this experience. Please comment below and your own experiences of riding with a partner, pros and cons, and what you find works well for you. Thanks so much for watching.